Hey everybody, welcome back and well done. Good job on the first exercise. So glad you're back with us and me and Michael, and we're gonna look at the next exercise now on how to invoke a function of a smart contract on another blockchain. So thanks, Michael, for joining us again.
Happy to be here.
So in the last section, we saw this simple example of sending a string in a message, right? Like a string, converting it to bytes and then sending it to the destination chain. So how do we go about if we want to make a call to the destination chain with multiple parameters? So, maybe two integers or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you can do is use the ABI encode method, which is available in Solidity. And what that does basically is you can pass in multiple values as a tuple or as a struct, however you'd like to do so. And it encodes them into a single byte array. And that byte array is then what is passed as the teleporter message. And when it's received on the destination side, use ABI decode to decode it or unpack it into the same type, same tuple, same struct on the destination side as the sender had used to encode it.
Awesome. So in order to do that, though, the source chain dApp and the destination chain dApp, they will have to kind of agree on a format, right? Like, so let's say we encode a number, a string and a number on the source chain. The destination chain will have to know the exact sequence and the types that are encoded in the message, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the whole trick there is that both sides agree on the message format itself.
Awesome. Cool. So how do we go about if now the destination dApp has, let's say, multiple functions with very different parameters, right? Like, let's say there's one function that only takes a string, another one takes a string and a number, and a third one takes three numbers. How do we go about that? Because there is the interface received teleporter message, but we can only implement that once, right? So we can't implement it multiple times depending on what message we want to pass. How do we go about this?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very common use case. It's a great question. The way that we have gone about implementing applications that have multiple functions that should be called on the destination is by using the first value encoded in the byte array to identify which function should be called. So you can think of it as an enum, and it just identifies which function should be called on the destination side. The second value then is another bytes array, and that encodes the parameters to the function that should be called. So those parameters might be different for different functions, whether it's adding two numbers or concatenating a string, what have you. But you know how to decode those parameters based on what function is identified to be called by the enum.
Yeah, that sounds pretty straightforward. Cool, then let's get to the next exercise where you do exactly that and learn how to build more complex cross-subnet dApps. Thanks a lot for joining us, Michael, and everyone have fun at the exercise.